Friends at Marcus and Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. So we're glad that we have with us right now, also on our Facebook page, Dr. Bill Geiger. Not Dr. Bill Geiger. What am I saying? Well, I think of Dr. Bill Geiger because this is a medical thing we're talking about.
It is a medical thing, but no, I am
Father
not.
Bill Geiger.
I am not a doctor. Just I've got my Rotary hat, not my church hat on today, so just Bill.
Okay, all right, Bill. Sorry about that.
That is okay. I guess got promoted. That's all right.
All right, but anyway, let's talk about this. The AMBA blood testing program, I think, has been a long-time tradition with Rotary clubs. I don't think just here in Indiana, but I know other places have done similar things.
Yeah, I think a lot of Rotary clubs do this. And AMBA is one of the programs that's offered of this sort of annual blood testing at an affordable price. And yeah, we've been doing it here in Indiana, the Rotary Club. I mean, I've been here for 25 years, and I think they've been doing it for probably 10 or 15 years before that. So it's been going on for a long, long time.
All right.
Yeah.
So again, when is this going to be held?
So this will be on Saturday, June 15th. So just 2 weeks from this Saturday, June 15th, in the morning, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Indiana Mall at sort of the open space next to K Jewelers, where they do a lot of community events.
All right. For those who go back that far, it's the former Route 21 location.
There we go. I think that's the one. Yes.
All right. So, and you said it starts early at 6 o'clock. You said
it starts at 6 o'clock. I think it's tradition. You
yeah.
know, we've always done it that way before. Now the reason they start at 6 is typically your doctor to get the best results, they need you to have fasted for 12 hours, and so in order if you not have to go through the whole day fasting. If you start fasting after dinner the night before, come in for your early morning blood test, then you're good. And in fact, we'll have some light refreshments to get you at least enough energy to get you to Perkins or one of the places here in town,
or back to home if you're getting a bowl of cereal.
To get some breakfast. Yeah.
So talk about what they're actually looking for in these blood testings.
So AMBA, this is a sort of your standard panel of blood tests. Many people's doctors, including my own, will order just a broad-based list of blood tests every year, just as part of your wellness check. It includes looking for things like your cholesterol level and your iron level, and it measures the bilirubin, whatever bilirubin is, has something to do with your kidneys or your liver or something.
Right. Okay.
But there's just dozens of these sort of typically ordered tests that are done together in this blood testing. So you, when you come for your test, you'll
you're getting a one-stop shop. It sounds like.
Yes.
All right. So talk about how popular this has been. I mean, this is something that people have to make reservations for, obviously, because you need to know how many tests they're going to do. But this is a popular fundraiser from what I remember.
This is both it is a fundraiser, but it's also a community service.
Right.
So we I think I see a typo on this. It says there's that the Rotary, in addition to the fee that AMBA charges, we charge a $5 administrative fee, and that money goes into, after some mild expenses like refreshments, goes into our fundraising. So it's it doesn't raise a ton of money, but it's one of our routine fundraisers that kind of helps support the ongoing projects we do year after year, and but it's been very popular, and it's because it's so affordable. Depending on a person's insurance, if they have insurance, your insurance may or may not pay for blood testing, or they may not pay for it every year. Just sort of depends on you and your health condition and your doctor and your insurance. And this is just straight up. You pay $44 this year plus the $5 administrative fee.
Okay,
and
so
and you can come and it's just paid and it's done. And that cost. Now, if you have insurance, it might be much less depending on your copay. But if you don't have insurance, a blood test, this basic panel, typically costs much more than that. So this is very affordable.
Definitely. I mean, I think of some of the times that I've had to go in for blood work or blood tests, and I see the bills coming back, and I'm kind of like, wow, thank heavens I have health insurance in that case, in that regard. Now, how can people sign up?
So you have to call the 1-800 number, 1-800-234-8888. 8888, and that gets you to Quest Diagnostics.
Okay. And that's the company that's running this.
That's the company that runs this. And Quest Diagnostics is a huge medical diagnostic testing company. Besides this, I think actually this this AMBA program they do is one of their smaller things. I mean, many hospitals and doctors use Quest Diagnostics to evaluate, to read their tests of all sorts. And so it's a very big medical testing company. And this is just a part of what they do, the community annual multiphasic blood analysis. That's what AMBA stands for.
Yeah, just taking a look at the list that you've handed me of what is included on that $44 test. Cholesterol levels, triglycerides, glucose levels if you're concerned about diabetes, anemia, liver disease, calcium test, chloride test, potassium test, and there are other optional tests that a physician could order as well that can be added on.
That's right. And so, and the physician ordering, now that's an important reason. Let me get in why people need to call if they're want to get this blood test. One of the reasons, and the least important reason, is to schedule you for a time so we don't have everybody come at the same time.
Right.
The really critical reason is we need to make sure that your doctor, you've got a script from your doctor for your blood test. There are many doctors in town which have a blanket permission to their patients to get this blood testing. And so if you call, they'll ask you who your doctor is. And if your doctor is one of those doctors, then you're good to go and they'll sign you up. If your doctor is not one of those doctors, then they'll ask you if you have a script for the tests and which tests and so forth. And so that's why it's really important to call to make sure that you have an order from your doctor. Either as a blanket order for all his or her patients or a particular script for you from that doctor.
All right. So, again, let's just go over the nitty-gritties. It's from 6 to 10, Indiana Mall in the former Route 21 location. That's the place by K Jewelers.
Right.
And you must place an appointment, and you can call Quest Diagnostics at 1-800-234-8888 to set up that appointment.
Correct. And let me give you a little heads up. If you're calling, this has been true the last couple of years. I assume it's this year. They put you on hold, and instead of getting nice sort of background music, they have somebody talking to you about all the different services Quest Diagnostic offers. You can just listen and ignore that until you get a live person talking to you, and then they'll ask for your particular information. So don't be distracted or confused by the sort of the talk about all the different things that Quest Diagnostics offers. That's just a way of keeping your time while you're on hold until they can answer your call.
That's their hold music. It's not like that jazzy stuff that we've seen in commercials and things like that.
I'd much prefer Muzak, but this is what we've got. So, but people sometimes have been confused by it. So that's why I give a heads up.
So what's been going on lately in Rotary Club?
So there are two Rotary clubs, of course,
Midday Rotary.
Midday Rotary and our club, and we're the Monday night club. We meet on the second and fourth Mondays of most months. We didn't meet the fourth Monday of May because it was Memorial Day.
Right.
But we meet at the back room at the Eden Park at 5:30, and sometimes we'll have guest speakers. I mean, we're having Dr. Driscoll speak on the second Monday of June. We're very interested about that. And then the dean of the new osteopathic college is going to be speaking on the fourth Monday of June. So different speakers come, and of course, a main part of Rotary's function and a main part of our dinner is just to have good conversation with colleagues, with other business and community leaders, and to do some planning sometimes for things like our AMBA and make sure people are on board for coming to help because it does take some volunteers. But we meet and guests are always welcome. We have IndianaRotary.org is our website, and you can get more information there, and you can leave an email if you're interested in coming to a meeting, just to make sure we know you're coming and which meeting, and to make sure we're actually meeting that Monday.
Yeah.
Or
talk to any Rotarian.
If you identify one. Our current president is Dana Henry. A lot of folks know Dana. And he's been around the community. Grew up here.
Yeah.
Talk to me here. Stop over at Christ Church across from the radio station, and I'll fill them in about Rotary if they have an interest.
Any other events? You talked about the speakers, obviously, but are there any other events and maybe fundraisers coming up down the road?
Right now, the focus is
on this. Yes.
Is on AMBA, yeah. And so some of the things that we said, the AMBA program, which is typically our smaller fundraiser each year, is helps to fund kind of the ongoing projects. And so this year, We have, again, as we've done for many, many years, we offered we are awarded a scholarship, the Woodard Scholarship,
nice.
To a graduating Indiana high school student going to IUP. So it's a 4-year scholarship, $500 each year. We have, again, this year offered not one but several scholarships to graduates of the ICTC going on to continue education. That's a 2-year scholarship.
Yeah.
And so this helps fund that because that's an ongoing commitment. We also, again, this year, have done for many years, are providing the trophies for the winners of the youth competition at the Indiana County Fair. So
yes, okay.
That's always, agriculture is such an important part of Indiana County's economy and history and culture, and 4-H has those agricultural competitions, and we provide the trophies and award them to them. So that's something we've done for a number of years, doing again this year, and so we're looking forward to participating in that event also.
Great update for what's going on for Indiana Rotary, and of course the wellness program, the AMBA blood tests coming up. Again, the number to call, 1-800-234-8888, and we should mention that that's between 8:30 and 5 Monday through Friday. That's when those offices are
is the number
open.
To call. Yeah, call the number during business hours.
All right, excellent. Well, Bill, thank you very much for joining us here on Indiana in the Morning. We're right at the mark, so thanks again.
Always a pleasure, Josh.
Hope it's a success.
All righty.
Bill Geiger joining us from Rotary here on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Our interviews presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm, Best of Indiana County Contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Coming up next, Fox News headlines at the top of the hour, then the latest from the WCCS newsroom, and we'll also have an interview with some members of the Indiana Players coming up, and also in our 9:45 segment as well, we've got some more guests. So that's coming up on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. So be sure to keep with us here on WCCS.
Hi, I'm Ariel Winter. If you're anything like me, your pets are not only your best friends, they're part of your family. American Humane, which has been rescuing animals like Cleo here for more than 100 years, has life-saving tips that can make a big difference before, during, and after disasters such as hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, or wildfires. So when disaster strikes, you want to be prepared to protect them. Be sure to microchip or tag your pets. Never leave them behind in a major crisis, and be sure to have an emergency kit ready in your home at all times with a pet crate or carrier, leash, blanket, ID, and medications, their water bowl, and 7 to 10 days worth of food. To find out how to protect your entire family during a disaster and help our best friends in their worst times, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Time to be first member FDIC. Again, we have our local news coming up after Fox News at the top of the hour here. And at 9:10, we'll have some representatives from the Indiana Players talking about Murdered to Death, the next production for the Indiana Players. And at 9:45, we just added this because we had a little bit of a schedule collision here, but we were able to work through it. We have some representatives with Family Nature Palooza coming up this weekend at Blue Spruce Park. So that will, Jake has been interviewing them now, and that will run at 9:40 or so this morning, around 9:45. So be sure to listen in here on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. And just a reminder, tomorrow's schedule, Community Guidance Center at 8:10. Terry Tedeschi from Our Lady of the Assumption, Coral Parish, joining us at 9:45.
101.1 FM and AM 1160 WCCS, Homer City, Clarksburg.
WCCS. How quickly will they reach a verdict? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is the big question at former President Trump's trial, where in about an hour the jury will get instructions.
That is where Judge Juan Merchan explains the law to them, what they can use, the guidelines. When they start the deliberations, those deliberations expected to start later this morning.
Fox's Eric Shawn outside the court in New York the day after closing arguments.
Prosecutor Joshua Steinglass said the conspiracy to unlawfully influence the 2016 election, you don't need Michael Cohen to prove one bit. The name of the game was concealment. He pointed to 2 documents that he called the smoking guns in this case that proved Trump's guilt. He said they were Cohen's bank statement and a memo on Trump letterhead. where Trump CFO Alan Weisselberg scribbled the bloated reimbursement numbers to Cohen.
The former president is charged with falsifying records in the reimbursement after Cohen paid Stormy Daniels to keep quiet about an alleged affair before the 2016 election. The former president denies that, and his lawyer told the jury there's no crime and that Michael Cohen's the greatest liar of all time. President Biden will go to Philadelphia today, kicking off a black voter outreach initiative as polls show former President Trump gaining support among minorities. A Republican congressman has narrowly beaten back a primary challenge in Texas.
Less than 500 votes separating Texas Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez and Brandon Herrera, a YouTuber and businessman known as the AK Guy. Gonzalez faced a number of attacks from within his own party that included a censure from the state Republican Party last year for his votes in support of a bill to protect same-sex marriage and a gun safety bill pushed after the Uvalde mass shooting.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz, another House primary winner in Texas, Katrina Pearson, a Trump 2016 campaign spokesperson who appears to be a shoo-in from here. She doesn't have a Democratic opponent in November. And this is a big deal in the oil business. ConocoPhillips buying Marathon for $17 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
In downtown Indiana, cloudy skies, temperature 56 degrees. Good morning, I'm Josh Whittison on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. 9:02 on this 29th day of May 2024. Yesterday, Indiana Regional Medical Center and the J.S. Mack Foundation announced that the hospital has acquired the Mack Park property. The $4 million purchase will ensure that the property remains a community asset and guarantees the Indiana County Fair will remain in its current location for the foreseeable future and that the park will be maintained. Operations of Mack Park Pool will remain with the YMCA of Indiana County. IRMC President Steve Wolf talked about some of the goals with this acquisition.
I think, we believe that we can really create a neat outdoor wellness mall here. And we think a potential building site or two will help in future expansion for the hospital that won't disrupt current operations like the fair or the pool. So we're excited about all that.
Before the property became Mack Park, it was originally owned by John Cephas Mack, president of the G.C. Murphy Company, a chain of five and dime stores across the United States back in the early 20th century. That was before it became a community park in 1934. To watch video coverage and to see pictures from yesterday's ceremonies, you can log on to WCCSradio.com, and you can also watch that ceremony on our YouTube page for Renda Digital TV and our Facebook page. WCCS News Time 9:03. News brought to you by Indiana Regional Medical Center. Better health, better life.
Here comes summer, and summer brings with it a fun, healthy time for kids.
My mom wants me to be healthy, play outside and eat fruits and veggies. But how can I learn to do all of that and have fun? I can tell my mom about the IRMC Health and Wellness Summer Camp. There will be fun activities and yummy recipes led by people who know all about staying healthy. It's free for kids ages 6 to 12, so sign up and join me for the IRMC Health and Wellness Summer Camp just for kids this June.
IRMC's Health and Wellness for Kids Summer Camp happens outside at the Human Motion Institute from 6 to 7:30 on 3 consecutive Wednesdays in June, on the 12th, 19th, and 26th. Each camp participant will be entered to win a bike courtesy of the IRMC Healthcare Foundation if they attend all 3 weeks. They'll even get a gift, including a hat. If it's raining, they'll move indoors at IRMC. Visit irmc.org/calendar and click on the Health and Wellness for Kids Summer Camp page to register.
WCCS News Time 9:04. State police are continuing to investigate an unsolved murder in Indiana County from September of 1985. The case involves the death of 34-year-old David John Alexander, who was found dead near a pond in a wooded area of Blacklick Township. He was last seen at a bar in Blairsville September 16th watching the Steelers play Monday Night Football. He was found with 3 shots in his body believed to have been fired by a .357 Magnum gun. He had been an informant for a state police drug task force. PSP Tips on Facebook says anyone with information should call state police in Indiana at 724-357-1975. The tip line also can be contacted for PSP Tips, and that's 1-800-4PA-TIPS. Callers can remain anonymous, and those who supply information on the tip line that would lead to an arrest, the solving of the crime, or the location of a wanted person could be eligible for a cash reward. On the docket for Indiana County's district courts today is the case of a Homer City woman charged in connection with an alleged assault earlier this month. Court documents say 40-year-old Bonnie Marie Redmond faces 2 counts each of aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer, aggravated assault attempt to cause serious bodily injury, and terroristic threats, along with single counts of criminal mischief, resisting arrest, and disorderly conduct in connection with an incident on May 15th. Meanwhile, in Indiana County's Court of Common Pleas, a post-sentence motion hearing is scheduled for 36-year-old Tremel J. Lockett, who was found guilty in January of this year of DUI controlled substance and 2 summary traffic violations for an incident June 28th of 2020. He was ordered in April to serve 1 to 5 years in prison. WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com news time. Approaching 9:07, your AccuWeather forecast brought to you by the John A. Lefthall Funeral Home.
Hello, this is John Lefthall, director of the John A. Lefthall Funeral Home. When there is a death in your family, the John A. Lefthall Funeral Home has been the primary choice for services for decades. Our funeral home provides traditional services, cremation options, monument sales, pre-arrangements, and pet cremations. Our directors provide you with caring, compassionate service and helpful advice. When you need us, we will be there. You may contact us at 724-463-4499, the John A. Lefthall Funeral Home, providing dignity, compassion, and excellence.
AM 1160 and 101.1 FM.